My name is Ahmed Jamal Amoudi. My test number is 191491. I'm from Group 18. I'm doing here an assignment of final project for statistics. So our experiment was about three types of liquid. Basically, these three types are cooking oil, liquid soap, and apple juice. We put them inside 3 cups in constant volume and in a constant temperature, which is a water bath at 60 degrees. And then we cover each volume, each cup, different material. So the cover surely has to be one paper, and the other one is nail or tissues, and the third one was gel. To keep our temperature constant, we used a thermometer through the experiment. The usefulness of thermometer is basically to measure the temperature of the water bath. Through this process, we measured the temperature a lot of times in order to make sure that temperature is constant at 60 degrees. Basically, for our experiment, we have 2 experiments. Mainly, it's about temperature, but more details. We put the 3 cups in a water bath for part A. I'm talking in water bath at 60 degrees at the same time, at the same constant of volume. So after that, we put them in the water bath for 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes we take them all out and we measured every cup how much temperature has reached, and therefore this is basically the steps of experiment part A. For experiment part B, so in part B we basically did quite the opposite, and I'm talking here like we put the 3 cups with the same constant of volume. We put them in the water bath in 60 degrees, and we left them until each cup reached 60 Celsius degree, and therefore we measured the time. They took until they reached 60 Celsius degree. This is basically, it's quite the opposite from part B, and we can see here the data for part A. We can see so these here are our data for part A, which is determine the temperature in 10 minutes, and part B, as obvious, is determine the time when the liquid reach at 60 Celsius degree. So we have the reading, and we can see there is no difference between the paper, when the cover is paper, and yeah, I think there's quite a difference between each one of them. So here is the data of our experiment. Right now my friend will explain the discussion and the ANOVA table. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, Doctor. My name is Salman Ahmed. My math number is 195587. So now I'm going to talk about ANOVA table. So we did our experiment, and we found the apple juice will be 53.4, and the oil will be 45.2, and the liquid soap will be 47.8. What we did, we took all of their total. It will be 146.4, and we bought in the 53.4 square. The answer will be 285 1.56. Only we have to put the number of experiment of all of them, and we bought the square. The answer will be this is like 2851.56. And there are K and N. What's mean about what I mean about the K and N? K, the number of groups or treatment conditions, and the N will be number of data points. Okay, here we have k equal 3 and n equal 9. How we know? This will be k, 3 groups, and this will be n 1 2 3 5 6 7 8 9. And this is the second experiment.
So from the discussion, first about our experiment, we use the method of control variables to complete the experiment, and let's take bottoms. 3 different solutions is juice, oil, and soapy water, and tin foil and A4 paper. During the experiment, we controlled for the variable of different covering materials and different solutions as the comparison of first group and the assumption of the same sunlight intensity. In second group, we controlled it for the variables of cover material to compare with the different solutions. The third group also controlled it for the variable of covering materials to compare with different group. Finally, by comparing different solutions, the data is summarized and compared, and the relevant data is calculated. For the method is a control variable method, is used to reduce variance in Monte Carlo method. This method will reduce the errors of unknown quantity estimation by knowing the known quantities. So it's very useful in the statistics when you deal with data. And in the first 3 groups, we controlled for the cover variables so that the different solutions were the only variables that could be compared to each other, and the last 3 groups as well. It's big simplification of what we are going to do to make it easier for us to get what we want. And for the conclusion, in brief, it has been achieved that when the liquids were covered with napkins, were easy to be heated, comparing it to full-cell papers. In addition, they got the shortest time to reach 60 degrees in part B. It's possible that there is wrong with some numbers to do with about human errors. So that's on my part. For my part, thanks for your reading.